I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't really know what was going on with that music on your end. On my end, it was completely screwed up. But I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are having a great Sunday. It is Sunday, May 12th, 2024. Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there in the world. I didn't know that it was Mother's Day until probably about 7:30 today. I just completely spaced it, did not realize it, and had to do a real quick call and announcement to those people in my life that needed the Mother's Day announcement. So I did all of that. I will say out here to all of you watching, whether you're watching live or repeat, happy Mother's Day. I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a wonderful, wonderful day. I know when I heard that it was, I knew that somebody said last week that it was today, and I thought that it seemed way early. I thought it was next weekend. Actually, I thought that it was, I don't know why I thought it was so late, but better late than never, I guess. Happy Mother's Day to all of you out there deserving mothers and fathers that have acted like mothers, and sisters that have acted like mothers, and brothers that have acted like mothers, all of you stepmothers and neighbor nut mothers and everyone else in between. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. This is the Political Spotlight. I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. Kate is at the controls doing what it is that she does. I've often been called mother. I think that maybe, was there another word that went with that, Charlize? But no, yes, all the same. Mother applies. Happy Maternal Parental Unit Day. That might work. So yeah, absolutely. We can apply that to all who feel that fits. It is what it is. I hope you guys are doing well. This is the Political Spotlight. As I was saying before, Kate was pointing at something. I didn't know what she was saying. I'm off screen at the moment, so bear with me for 1 second if you guys are commenting or Kate's pointing. Before we get into the show, as always, want to take a moment to ask you to click the like button. And if you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. Subscriptions cost you nothing. You can do that for free. And once you hit the subscription button, you can also then hit the bell. That way you will know when we drop live videos, when we drop new static videos that are not normally at a specific given time, or the shorts. So please, please, please do that. And of course, we are a very interactive show. So if you're watching live, comment over here in the comment box. If you're watching on your own time at your own convenience on repeat, please comment in the comment box down below here, because we like to see what you have to say and are very interested, and we will get back to you. Most importantly, please, please, please help spread the word. Share the show with everyone you know, and that's how we get everything out and about here that we talk about. All right. So it is Sunday, and we are getting ready to get into the new work week. We have a lot going on. Are you forgetting something or someone or Saturday? Oh, yes. And it was Teresa's birthday Saturday. So happy birthday to my aunt for Saturday. We didn't have a show on Saturday. Wait, it was Friday the 10th, Saturday the 11th. So happy birthday to my aunt. Saturday was her birthday, and that's there. Big. I'm trying to figure out what I think it's 65. The big 6'5", the big 6'5". So happy birthday. Hope you guys had a good day. It's been a great weekend, especially for those of you that are extremely interested in the NASA, extremely interested in space and things that go on with the outside the world, looking up in the sky. Something that is important to me. I've always been very interested in space and what goes on out there in the sky. Always interested in looking up. Actually, if you've noticed, there have been quite a few people that have been posting pictures, and those pictures have been standby. Those pictures have been posted all over social media. Stand by here 1 second. I'm going to get some of these posted up so folks can see them, because they're really amazing. So for those of you that might not know what I am talking about, there were geomagnetic storms that have been going on. Coronal mass ejections, which is when the sun shoots massive fireballs into the space, rather, I guess. And those energy particles and fingers, tentacles hit the earth and affect our magnetic, the magnetosphere, and it makes the lights that we all know as either the aurora borealis, the northern lights. I think there are also southern lights as well, but most of us know them as the northern lights. One other time in my life, I was able to see them down this far. I know there have been several times in the last couple of years they would tell us that we could see them, but I have never been able to see them. I have never, ever been able to see them. One time, shortly after 9/11, I saw them outside, and it freaked the hell out of me. I did not know what it was. I was scared to death. I was like, something's happening. We're under attack. And I like went inside. It was like the, internet wasn't like what it is. And I was trying to figure out how to figure out. I just knew it was the end of the world. And I just happened to have flipped through TV and I saw a guy talking about the Northern Lights being seen this far down. And since then, it has been my desire to be able to see the Northern Lights again. And I have been wanting to see them down here. But I just knew that that probably wouldn't happen because over the last several years, anytime they would see that, I would go out looking for them, and I was not able to see them. So I went out this last weekend, went out on Friday night, and amazingly, I was actually able to see the Northern Lights. We got some great pictures of them. Friday night, my mother and I went. I actually took my mother out. She didn't believe it. She was like, this is not real. Because I went outside and I took a picture and I was able to show her the picture. And she's like, nah, you're doing that with your phone. And I was like, come out with me. So we actually went out and were able to take pictures of this. And I've got a couple pictures here. A couple that are mine and a couple that I've taken from some friends and whatnot. So I want to take you guys through these and let you see these pictures. Here's one that I took. Here it is with a little bit of basically all I did is darken the edges of the picture just to show how the difference of the color was. Here it was as it was fading. It would dance. You were able to see it kind of bend and move as they do when you're like in Alaska. Going up to see them in Alaska, that would be absolutely amazing. There's another one with the colors kind of really brought out. Here is a picture that a friend of mine took that's just absolutely stunning. And you're able to see the stars intermixed with it. And that's just absolutely gorgeous. And this is all being taken with no effects, just pure photography with the camera taking the picture straight away. Just absolutely beautiful. Here's one that Alva actually sent to me. And this is just an amazing shot. I believe he said this is from down in Georgia. This is Georgia. This was another one that I saw that someone had taken. I think that this was from in between Henry County and Delaware County. And this is just a really wild picture to see the greens and then the pink and then the night sky with the stars and set against the clouds. That is a wild picture. These are absolutely amazing. Some of these pictures are just mind-boggling. That's a real favorite picture of mine, even though the colors aren't very strong. It shows you how it's really cool. This is just, things like this. Could you imagine? This was one, this was taken from Indianapolis, and one of the TV news stations took this picture, and this is just so amazing to me to see this, just so wild. What an amazing, oh no, this was out of Florida, WFLA news channel. So this is pretty wild, pretty wild stuff here. Again, to see with all the stars. What an awesome shot that is. So yeah, very cool. Let's see here. What is going on down here in... We're all going to be microwaved like a cheap TV dinner. One of the things that they said was that this would mix up and mess up the this would mess up the communications. But I never had any problem with any of my, I didn't have any problems texting or calling. I don't know. I tried last night, but too much city pollution. Rural would have been better. Yeah, absolutely. We were up by Delta High School area, which was where we were able to take most of the pictures we took. What was the other thing that I was going to say? Oh, cut my thumb really badly last night. Probably could have done stitches, but it was bleeding profusely, and we finally got it stopped. Was cutting the end off of the toothpaste tube, and I had a pair of scissors, and the pair of scissors I had were those like little, I guess they're nose trimmer scissors, little steel scissors like this, about this big, and one of the blades had toothpaste on it, and I was in the process of cleaning it off, and I slid it along, and it cut through the towel and into my thumb. And so if you see this on my hand as I wiggle my hand around, that's what that is. I didn't want to do the whole stitches thing, so we tried to deal with this. We tried to deal with this myself. So, all right. Well, when we were here last, was that your favorite toothpaste? It was my favorite toothpaste. Yeah. I'm a nerd with toothpaste. I've always done the same thing. There's a couple things that I like to get the very, very last out of my toothpaste. There's a couple different things like that. Toothpaste is one of them. And so anytime I get to the end of the toothpaste, I always cut the end off and I scrape the things out. And I did glue it. I did glue the thumb. I did that myself. I took some super glue, glued right back down in there, and did that there. I have sensitive teeth, so I have to use Sensodyne. And that's what I did. I super glued it. That's exactly what I did. And then to make sure I didn't have, it was bleeding. I couldn't stop. I couldn't get the bleeding stop. Even through the glue, it was still like coming out. So that's the reason I wrapped it the way that I did, to stop the bleeding. Okay. So when we were last here, okay, we were well, it was the 200th show, and we were talking about first we had on Catherine, which I meant to have Catherine on either right before or right after the 200th, because for the 200th show, I had planned some things about the Muncie aspect, and so we did the Muncie stuff later because I wanted to find out what was going on with Catherine, and it was no time better than then to do it, I guess. And so because of that, I left a couple things off of the Muncie aspect at the end that we talked about. So right here at the beginning, I want for you guys to play the last week's Muncie City Council, or not last week's Muncie City Council meeting, the last week's Board of Works meeting. It's a very quick meeting. It's only 4 minutes. It's actually less than 4 minutes if you don't count the pledge and the babble talk that they do for a little bit. So we're going to get into this. We're going to watch the Board of Works. And ladies and gentlemen, feel like this is a lot of what's wrong currently in Muncie and Anderson and in Newcastle, because I know Newcastle's starting to have some issues. So yeah, Joey, I'm telling you, brother, Wait till you. Well, just listen to this. This is insane. Everybody that's paid attention to this, you guys know how ridiculous all of this is. So let's get into this. Here we go. We will watch this starting now.
Been on the end too.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the May 8th meeting of the Muncie Board of Works. We'd like to call the meeting to order and start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Lacey, if we could have roll call, please. Present.
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 We have the consideration of the May 1st claims that have been given to us.
And the minutes.
I mean, minutes. Did I say? I was looking at.
Claims.
I said minutes right here, but I didn't say the word.
Yeah.
Okay. Of the May 1st minutes, if we can, I'm just making sure you're on your toes.
Yeah, we are.
We're
Okay.
awake. Yeah, we got it.
Okay.
I move approval of the May 1st minutes as presented.
And I'll second.
Okay. Any comments or questions? Well done, Lacey. Okay. All those say aye in favor.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, great. Motion carried. Now we have the register of claims. Mr. Craig Wright, City Controller.
Morning.
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 Sent out the claims actually Monday, with yesterday being voting day. We did have credit card week this week, and I know we had discussed earlier before the meeting on some of them needing a little more
What?
detail on the
Okay,
descriptions.
Pause this right here. I know we discussed earlier before the meeting. All right, so this is my problem with what goes on with Mr. Craig Wright. Craig Wright walks into the Board of Works meeting probably about 10 minutes early. The Board of Works members are all up there. They're doing their thing. He walks up to the desk there, and they then proceed to have about 5 to 10 minutes of their own nonsense discussion before the meeting is on record, before the video's rolling, before the public is there. And it's what they do every flipping time. I have told them and told them and told them that that is illegal. They do not care. And as I'm starting to find more and more people are starting to really call question to Craig Wright and what it is that he does and or doesn't do. I actually put a short out this past weekend, and that's what happens there. Okay, so that's very big. And I think and I want to make sure that let me see here. Let me get where we're getting at here. Well, let's get through this, and then I'll play the rest. So we're right at 41.45, a minute and 45 seconds in. Let's go from here.
I will follow up with that with the department heads. One of it is due just from turnover. So we'll just go into, the explanation of details. And I know there's a couple of them on descriptions with community development that I'll follow up on. And we also did a second run last week of utilities.
Mhm.
So that was included in there. And with that, I will open it up to any questions you might have.
Linda, yeah.
We talked about it earlier, as you indicated, credit card descriptions were not quite what they ought to be.
Not
We'll
quite
handle
where they
that
have been in the past.
Yes,
so,
by and large, they're good to find only 2 or 3
yes.
that are in question, and that's mainly so that when we look back at it later, there's some bit of explanation in the
Sure.
system.
Yes.
Yeah, we're watching. We're looking, right?
Absolutely.
No, thank you.
Yeah, Lou,
That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Lou, do you have any?
No, thank you.
Nope. Okay. I don't have any
Listen,
comments.
yeah, that's what they're supposed to be doing. Laugh, laugh, laugh. And Linda's got a little bit right. Like, oh, so we need to be able to look back. So that's right. No, and I don't know. I couldn't have no clue what in the hell is going on in the comments right now. You guys are all trying to kill each other. Joey's right. And I'm sure Bloomington doesn't have it all figured out. I'm sure they're just as screwed up. But what Joey's talking about is their board of works down there. They don't have 4-minute meetings. They go in, their board of works meeting is like any other meeting that you would have. It's like an hour and a half or 2 hour long meeting. And they discuss every single claim that comes before the board, and the public is aware. We watch the Bloomington Board of Works meetings. I've often claimed that other communities like Anderson, and see, here's the thing. The fact that I follow what goes on in all of these different communities, it's kind of like I take a little bit of here and I take a little bit from there. And if we could then combine all of these little pieces from each place into what would be a standard form of government. Like, for example, for everything bad that Muncie does, one thing that Muncie does right is it's how they do the minutes on the city council meetings. They do their minutes right. I love it. I appreciate it. It's fantastic. And they do that well. And I wish every place else would do that right. However, how they do the Board of Works completely sucks. It's horrible. Even Winchester does better Board of Works meetings than the City of Muncie. But I will claim, and absolutely, and I'll stick to this, that Bloomington, the way that they run their Board of Works meetings are far superior to how Muncie, Anderson, and even Winchester in that claim. So yeah, that's that. I absolutely agree with that. Let me let's go back up here. So it's interesting what you hear there is he sent them their claims out yesterday, meaning well, not yesterday, it wouldn't have been Tuesday, it would have been he sent them to them on Monday, then Tuesday was election day, and then on Wednesday they let them know at that pre-meeting that they have some issues because some of the credit cards didn't have descriptions of what was being spent. And like we always say on here, they say they have questions about this. Does Craig ever get back with them on what those questions are? Is it in an email? We never hear about that. So it really, really, really doesn't matter. It's nonsensical what they do. So, all right, let's, because if we, the public, don't know, then it doesn't matter, because we're the people that apparently have to be keeping track of what's going on because they don't. And I'm going to go to the Board of Works this Wednesday, and I'm going to let them know that they are part of the problem, because if these people were going through the claims the way that they should be, they would be a stopgap to kind of be able to control exactly what has went on with Dustin Clark and the Greenlight Resources, because they would be able to know, hey, we're getting a lot of invoices for Greenlight Resources. What is Greenlight Resources doing for us? They would be able to ask those questions. So I'm going to point that out, because I went there and battled with Ted before, and he said, well, we got to get out of here and get to our jobs. Well, then if you can't put the time in that you need to put in, you should resign. And misinformed, it wasn't Craig that was going to lunch. It was Ted, the guy that we see on screen now. Craig is the controller that's down at the podium. And no, we never went to lunch.
Either. Well done, except we had the same concern. So do we have a motion?
Yes,
to
I move
approve this?
approval of the claims for $901,800 $13.
901,000.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, having none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carried. Thank you,
Thank you.
Craig. We just have one unfinished business about a street closure application. There's been no response on that from to Lacey's knowledge, so we're just going to keep that tabled.
And it's in July, right? So we have a,
Yeah, we have,
Yes, we have a while.
so with that, there's no official new business. Does anyone have any anything else that they'd like to bring us, new business or other comments? Wow, this is a quiet day.
That's
Okay.
a good thing.
Yeah. Having none, meeting adjourned. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
thank you.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Meeting adjourned. That's all. It was under 3 minutes, folks. Under 3 minutes time, actual time, probably less than that. The meeting was 4 minutes and 8 seconds. Let's see. Let's time this.
City Controller.
Morning.
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 Okay, morning. He says morning at 1:26.
Sent out the claims actually Monday, with yesterday being voting day. We did have credit card week this week, and I know we had, so we'll just go into the questions you might have. Not
We'll
quite,
handle
they
that
have been in the past.
Yeah,
so.
by and large, they're good to find only a system.
Okay. I don't have any comments either. Well done, except we have the same concern. So do we have a motion?
Yes,
to
I move
approve the-
approval of the
Okay.
claim.
So there's two. All right, 258. So 226. All right, so that's the claims were actually discussed in from 1 minute and 26 seconds to 2 minutes and 58 seconds. That's how quickly they discussed that. Everything else is nonsensical. The pledge is great and everything wonderful. But doing the roll call and all that's nonsense. I mean, that's stuff that needs to be done, but that's not discussing the actual matters at hand. So from the time that he was called up and said good morning to the time that the motion was made was 30, 40, 50. So 30, 32. So 1 minute and 32 seconds. So whoever was figuring math there a minute ago and saying $250,000 a minute, it's actually $901,000 discussed in 1 minute and 32 seconds. So figure that up and let me know. That's really, really, really disgusting. Specifically when, let me see, we ought to be able to go back and see if they have the actual claims up. Let me see if they do. Sometimes they have them up and sometimes they don't. Let's see if they got them pulled up this time. Okay, agenda and minutes. Okay. Let me get this
You
open
should see
here.
the viewers. The viewers are mathing like madmen. It's amazing. $99,000, $9,900 per second, $333,333 every 30 seconds and just over 600,000 per minute. It's amazing. I love my mathers in the group.
Lord, that's crazy. That is really, really crazy. That's really nuts. Okay, Kate, I'm getting ready to send this. Can you put that up in the as soon as I sent? Oh crap! It went away. Hold on, I'm gonna have to share it. Okay, Stumblefoot. So the thing is, those 3 board members are not paid, which that's the one good thing about it is they are volunteering their time. So that's the one good thing that we get to. We get to have whatever nonsense they do for free, thank God. So let's see here. Okay. It looks as if they act like they were putting them up, but they didn't really put them up. Oh, here it goes.
Were
Come
you
on.
sending me something?
No, sorry.
Okay.
I was going
I've
to
been
see
like
if you could
freaking
put
out
up.
that maybe like my Facebook Messenger died or something.
No, I was
Well.
on the other screen. I was going to have you put this up from down below, but
Okay.
I then sent it away. Come on, it's crawling. Come on. A little bit. It's almost there. Come on. You can make it. Here we go. Okay. This is where we're going to be interesting. Let's see what we paid for, folks. I'm going to blow this up and shrink me down, but you can hear me. So let's look through it this way. Okay. Look, other services and charges. Okay. Nothing too crazy or out of the way yet. I'm looking primarily for if we paid anything on the crisis center.
Is this document searchable?
Yeah, you can find it. No, not the same way we normally do.
Okay, sorry.
No, I wish it was. I found this in the Muncie docs, not in the same way we find that other stuff. It will be eventually once they have it up, but I didn't go to that other page to see. I just went to where they send it, the email. So it looks like this is interesting. What we're spending on part-time labor out at Prairie Creek. And I'm going to come back and talk about that in just a second. What I'm looking for and what I want you guys to look for is something called rightware. Another thing that we're looking for besides the crisis center, I don't think they would be stupid enough to still be sending things through Greenlight Resources. But I also want to look for rightware designs. We'll talk about Prairie Creek and rightware designs here in just a second. All right, here's some stuff for Prairie Creek. 41,000 for what? Doesn't say. Urban forester. Okay. I'm doing this for the first time. I should have done this before the show, but I'm going through this real quick here. Edit Fund, Wolf Boom, Bose McKinney Nevins, LNW Outdoor, Bose McKinney Nevins, Make My Move. Remote worker recruiting campaign second payment. 38,750. That's amazing. Okay. All right. Almost done here. Give me 1 second here and I'll tell you. All right. I'll tell you what we're looking for. What's going on here specifically. Community development. 3. All right. Here we are in the EFTs. Okay. All right. We're done. Oh, here's what he thought was big. Let's see what he thought was big. All right. This is a couple of other things. So what we're going to be looking at here is, okay, Bateman's Brother Police Armor Plates, Easy Dock of Mid-America Prairie Creek final payment, $200,000. Keep that in your mind here in a second. Okay, so basically that looked pretty run-of-the-mill, not that big a deal. All right, so let's, if we can, discuss the effects of basically what happened as a result of this Dustin Clark fiasco. Dustin Clark, ladies and gentlemen, is the supervisor of Prairie Creek. I know he's also the mayor's right-hand man, and he does whatever the mayor needs, and he apparently does grants, and he apparently does a once-in-a-lifetime City of Muncie festivals like the solar deal and whatever the hell else that the city asks him to do that he bills for. His most important job for the city is supposed to be director of Prairie Creek. Well, because Dustin is out on unpaid leave, because he has been on unpaid leave since April 19th, things have not been getting done at Prairie Creek. Now, let me tell you some things that I have been hearing from various birdies at City Hall and in city government. And that is because, look, folks, I need to make sure that you're aware. We have Prairie Creek, which is a park for the city. But because it is so big, it's got its own director. That being said, it still falls under the Muncie City Parks. And besides the Prairie Creek director, we also have a parks director. Okay. And everybody knows that is none other than Carl Malone. So because Dustin Clark is out on paid leave, which means he's getting paid because he's a criminal, and he's getting paid because he has done this crazy crap, and he's off on vacation while he's being investigated for doing everything that he's done, and the city's still paying him for it. His job is not getting done. What's that mean? His job's not getting done. It means the grass isn't getting mowed. It means the docks aren't getting put in. It means the payments are not getting taken. Folks, Prairie Creek is the crown jewel of Delaware County, of the city of Muncie. So many people go out there to spend time, to have fun, to relax, to get away. It's a lot of people's only escape in the summer, spring, summer, and fall. Well, a couple little birdies have told me that because he's been gone and his stuff has not been getting done, that essentially what has happened is the city of Muncie has said, all right, Parks Department, you now must go out and take on the Prairie Creek responsibilities. Here's the problem, though. The problem is they don't know how to put in the docks. They don't know what they're doing. And they went out there and they've spent a little bit of time. And in taking care of Dustin's job, they've realized, wait a minute. If we do this, we're going to let our jobs go to pot. So instead of having Prairie Creek just go to shit and all the rest of the parks go to shit, Carl Malone has made the decision, we're not doing it. We're going back to do what we're supposed to do. And Dustin being off, that's his fault. That's the mayor's fault. So now I'm being told, ladies and gentlemen, that essentially what's happening is Prairie Creek is now being just kind of pushed off to the side. And whatever happens, happens. Now they're afraid that things are not going to get done. The docks are not going to be put in. Yards are not going to get mowed. And it's going to be an absolute total chaos. Well, I'm telling you, if the mayor allows that to happen, I don't care what else he's screwed up. People will run him out of town. They will run him out of town. Because you don't screw with the Prairie Creek. So I'm just telling you, there's nothing like pissed off Prairie Creek people, because they are a very powerful lobby in the city of Muncie, if you will. So it's going to be interesting to see how the city takes care of this. The other, up Prairie Creek without a paddle. That's exactly. So a couple of things that are going to be interest here. Number one is, yes, as Stumblefoot has said, the city of Muncie now has this new money for this new trail deal that's out there around Prairie Creek, which I don't think the city's going to be able to allow Prairie Creek to just go to shit for. They're going to have to do something with it. They're going to have to do something with it. Number two, it's really interesting because if you remember me telling you I was looking in those numbers there, I was looking for Rightware Designs. Folks, you don't think it's just Dustin Clark that's figuring out a way to, have his cake and eat it too. Everybody remembers the name Ashley Wright. Ashley Wright used to work out there. Now, she doesn't anymore. But I believe that her husband still works for the city of Muncie. But on top of working for the city of Muncie, they also have a little job on the side called Rightware Design. And for the longest time, they've been pushing the people on the street department to buy their clothing from Rightware Design. I'm starting to hear that Rightware Design might very well have been connected to Greenlight Resources in getting all of the solar t-shirts. Want. So, folks, it's not just like you cut off the leg and it saves the body. It's so intertwined and so incestuous that it's not just like, okay, well, the cancer's in the right kidney. Let's cut the right kidney out and save the body. No. It's metastasized. And it's everywhere. Okay? Just gonna be honest. That's what's going on. And that's exactly right, Clinton Hull. They are not. They are not. Oh, yeah. Yeah, what is that? Oh, yeah, put that up here. I can see if I can get it up here. Ad page. Oop, there we go. You'll have to, yeah. This is something from Rightware Designs. I got mooned. This is Rightware Designs online. I got mooned at Prairie Creek Reservoir. Who's going to go buy this now? Who would go buy this? Now, like, oh my God, they made hoodies too? Support your local racetrack. Folks, I like you said, the plot thickens. And I think it'll be interesting to see what goes on with this. I talked about it a little bit last week, but I want to be clear so people will know and people can understand just what I was talking about. I put up a big article, a written piece that I did last week. And I just want to make sure that you guys are all... Oops, let me make sure that's right. Stand by. I'm having to fix what I got going on here. Let me make sure that this is right. So, back in September of last year, the State Board of Accounts released a document, basically like a supplemental report. And it essentially said things that they had found that were wrong within the city of Muncie. And when they did that, we knew about it. I covered this last year. I could probably go back and find the episode. And I remember thinking then, like, man, it's going to be interesting to see how the mayor handles this, because there's no way the mayor didn't know about this, because I specifically heard the mayor saying some of these words in a speech. I think it was to city council. So I thought it was very interesting. So I want to read to you this piece that I put up just so people can hear it. For those of you that have not read the piece, or for those of you that don't have social media, don't have Facebook. So I wrote, in September of 2023, the Indiana State Board of Accounts filed a report called Supplemental Compliance Report of the City of Muncie. And in this 17-page report, they covered various issues that were of concern. The Political Spotlight covered this report back in September of 2023. Specifically speaking, one issue that the Indiana State Board of Accounts had with the City of Muncie was how, starting in 2021, Mayor Dan Ridenour contracted with an already full-time city employee, which we knew then, as we know now, is Dustin Clark. And the reason that they contracted with him was to, and this is what apparently is put in the contract that I have requested from the City of Muncie, and I have still not received this yet. And I told them the other day they are starting to run into time constraints, and I will be filing a complaint very soon. So they need to get this to me, and I'll tell you about that more here in a bit. But I have filed a request for this. But the clerks, or excuse me, the contract with Dustin allegedly says that he is to provide general administration management of Prairie Creek Reservoir. What? That's already his job. Grant writing, aid in park development, and oversee the mayor's initiatives, whatever that is, and other consulting services to the city and all departments of the city as needed and directed by the mayor of Muncie. The contract specified that the city would provide the following items as needed for Clark to complete his duties Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m., which is ironically the same time that he works as a full-time employee. They stated that they would provide office space with a computer, which he already had, internet access, telephone access, which he already had, both of those, a city email address, which he already had, and a copy machine, which he already had access to. The contract also specified that the person, Clark, was a contract consultant of the city and as such was not entitled to any city employee benefits, although we already know that he has full-time benefits because of his full-time position with the city. The contract set his pay for the contract position at $2,000 a month from January 1st, 2021 through December 31st of 2023. It then went on to state that if there were any modifications to be made to the contract at all, they would need to be made in writing and signed off on by all parties. That never happened. The State Board of Accounts report noted that the contract included language regarding the duties that were already being performed by this person, Dustin Clark, as a full-time city employee. So they noted that there was overlap and that is a problem. They noted this in September's report. It was filed on September 21st, 2023. It did not include a provision for a record of hours worked to be provided, and it did not specify the work to be performed outside of the cities in normal work hours, which are 8 to 4 Monday through Friday. The State Board of Accounts noted that the employee Clark's time card showed 8 hours per day worked for the city, but it did not give the actual time hours, and no record of the hours worked were provided for the consulting work. As a result, there was insufficient documentation to determine when Clark worked for the city as a full-time employee versus when he worked as a consultant. That's the problem. That's why this type of thing is not good. This individual, Clark, was paid $49,355 as a full-time city employee, plus $24,000 as a consultant in the year 2021. Give me 1 second here.
This was just part of a regular audit, correct? This wasn't something they came in to check on specifically. This was just part of a regular audit, and they found
part of the regular audit. Yes.
Okay. There's a question in the comments, and I know you're off screen, so.
Yeah, I'll be right back on to get that. So, just so you guys are aware, in 2020, Dustin Clark was paid $31,754.25 as a full-time employee because he hadn't been there for a full year. In 2021, Dustin Clark was paid $49,854.73 as a full-time employee. Plus, he was paid an additional $24,000 as a consultant. In 2022, Clark was paid $51,066.30, plus even more as a contract employee. And in 2023, Dustin Clark was paid $53,777.18 as a full-time employee, plus even more as a contract employee. Plus, he received benefits, folks. This report went on to say in 2022, the consultant Clark's permanent payment increased from $2,000 a month to $2,500 a month with no written amendment as the contract stated it would. All right. That's a problem. That is a problem. You can find everything that I am talking about laid out in the state board's documentation, which you can see those pictures on my social media, and I will show you those here in a minute. But to me, there is something actually worse than all of this, and it's the following. All of those issues were laid out to the city prior to the report ever being filed. All of that information was laid out in a meeting between the State Board of Accounts and the mayor and others from the City of Muncie. And the State Board of Accounts told Mayor Ridenour what they saw as problems when that meeting was held on August 30th, 2023. And oh yes, there's one more bit of important information and detail to mention. The meeting is called an exit conference. And under Indiana law, there are specific officials that must be present in the exit conference. And those officials are the mayor, the controller, the president of the Board of Works, the president of the sanitary district, and the president of the city council. During the time that this meeting was held, the mayor was Dan Ridenour, the controller was Craig Wright, the Board of Works president was Linda Gregory, the president of the sanitary district was Stephen Brand, and the president of the council was Jeff Robinson. But as you can see in the picture that I will show you, Jeff Robinson was not at that City of Muncie's exit conference. Instead, Mayor Ridenour had city councilor and his chamber boy, Aaron Clark, there. I wonder why. What was going on in 2023, specifically in August of 2023, that would make Ridenour not want to have the council president there? Oh, that's right. In August of 2023, Dan Ridenour was running for re-election, and his opponent was council president Jeffrey Robinson. Dan didn't want Jeff to have any kind of a leg up that could have helped him in any way and hurt Dan. That's problem number one. Why did the mayor not have the council president at the exit conference? If Jeff would have been there, you would have known what Dustin Clark was up to, because that would have been brought out either in campaigning or one way or another. Let me tell you, to a certain extent, ladies and gentlemen, it was, because yours truly covered this in September of 2023. And the Star Press ran a little bit of an article, but it was kind of convoluted and in the weeds. We talked about it back when, but it was not as easily put together. All right. We did cover this. I talked about this. I specifically remember talking about this. I specifically remember showing the report, posting the report. I mean, let's be honest. No one should have needed to be told that this was wrong. Everybody should have known that it was wrong. But Dan just simply didn't care. Dan didn't want to get caught more than he didn't want to do wrong. Okay, that's important. And now for problem 3. Once all of this came out, let's say for the sake of argument that, okay, Dan didn't know that it was wrong. I mean, that would mean that he was incredibly dumb. But for the sake of argument and to play devil's advocate, let's just say, yes, Dan Ridenour is an idiot. Let's say he's dumb. He's a big, big dummy head. Okay? If he didn't know in advance that this was wrong, he did know on August 30th, 2023. Once the State Board of Accounts told him that this was a problem, that should have been the end of it, but it was not. All that happened from that exit conference was Dustin Clark then started doing his work through a fake company called Greenlight Resources. And they allowed the bullshit to keep right on a rolling. So number one, Dan Ridenour, your knight in shining shit, knew all about this. He purposefully skirted Indiana law, and he did not have Jeff Robinson present at the State Board of Accounts exit conference because he couldn't bear to allow Jeff to hear something was amiss. So he brought along his chamber boy, Aaron Clark, to fill in from the council. Even after being told it was wrong, Dan still allowed it to continue, allowing for not only this insane, not only allowing for Dustin to get over on the City of Muncie, but allowing for this insane Greenlight Resources fiasco to take hold. It was nuts because it not only continued, but it grew. And yeah, I know he's being cooperative with the investigation. Their ignorant press release said they called and are allowing the state police to investigate. You don't allow the police to investigate. They do what they want to do, and they'll let you know if you're in the wrong or not. Dustin Clark is on paid leave, blah, blah, blah. Give me a break. That's a free ride. A hero Dan is not. Also, I'm pretty sure that his communications director needs to be booted as well. But you know how they do. So here it is. All right. I'm going to leave for you here just so you guys can see it. Pictures 1 and the pictures of this thing. All right. I know it's kind of hard, but you'll be able to see this if you go to my Facebook account, pictures 1 and 2. lays it all out for you here. Picture number 2 shows you who should have been there. And down at the bottom, it shows you clear as day. The contents of this report were discussed on August 30th, 2023 with Craig Wright, City Controller, the Honorable Dan Ridenhour, Mayor, that's laughable, Aaron Clark, Common Council Member, Stephen Brand, President of the Sanitary District Board, John Barlow, Sanitary District Administrator, Matt Wegley, Deputy City Controller, and Clarice Burke, Investment Clerk. All right. And then in the bottom one said Mayor, City of Muncie, exit conference, and it's the same people on the same date. So there's that. You can also, if you like to have a lot of fun reading, you can also find pages 1 through 12 that will show you everything. I know I said it was 17 pages, but I condensed it into 12 pages for you. So you can find all of that on my social media. It was posted on May 10th. So you'll have to scroll back, but you'll easily be able to see the full report. It's here. And look, it doesn't just tell of that. It tells of a couple of other issues. But just FYI, it is what it is. Okay, what was the question that we have? You said we had a question.
You already answered it.
What was it?
About this came up because of a regular audit.
Oh, yes. No. Okay. Yeah. Yes. I get it. I get what you're saying. Yeah. No, this was just a regular audit. This was not part of anybody calling anything to action or whatever. Is this FBI official still is the FBI office still next door in the Star Bank building? Yes. Yes, they are. Yes, the FBI is still next door. So, it'll be interesting to see how this is handled, what they do moving forward on this, because, this is something that Dan did his very best. He did his very best to try and hide. He didn't want anybody to know about this. And it was because he was running an election. But, the funny thing is, in a lot of ways, I not only blame this on Ridenhour and blame this on Dustin, but I blame this on Craig Wright. Okay? We are seeing on a pretty regular action, pretty normal regularity, I guess that's what I was trying to get out, that Craig Wright doesn't mind doing things that he might not otherwise do. He doesn't care if he's kind of outside of the lines a little bit. He doesn't care to, do things that are a little wacky. I'll show you this short that I put up. Where are we at here? What is going on? Here we are. Here's the short that I put up.
Provided.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain that? Can you expound on that?
Well, that was a direction to go ahead and implement that. We will be doing a salary ordinance.
When?
As far as me answering that, I would rather legal answer it.
Okay,
But we did implement it.
When will that take effect? That salary increase?
The ordinance.
No, when will the salary?
It came in the last rate pay, which was Friday.
So
for the
so
civil.
You're outside of city ordinance right now?
Well, the ordinance, as long as you get the ordinance in,
No, sir.
so.
Ordinance 24-23.
I
talks
like how
about the
Nora said
hourly
no,
maximum
sir,
for each
quietly.
hourly employee, and it sets a
No,
maximum
sir.
amount for each hourly employee. If you're paying above that, then you are outside of city ordinance. It's 10% raises were
Wah,
provided.
wah, wah, wah. So that's a short, and it's up there for all to see if they are so inclined. But that's Craig Wright, ladies and gentlemen. And look, I don't think he's dumb either. I don't think that Craig is particularly dumb. I think that he does dumbass things, thinking that he's above the fray because his boss is above the fray because they're the mayor and, nothing can happen to them. I think what he needs to do is go back and ask the last administration what happens. Folks, I don't know. But I'm going to go to the Board of Works and I'm going to tell them once again, I feel like you guys hold a little bit of responsibility in this. When you guys are literally doing meetings in 4 minutes, I mean, the video is 4 minutes. The damn video is 4 minutes. The meeting took 3 minutes and 20 seconds. They had a minute. What did we decide? They had a minute and 32 seconds worth of discussion. What is going on here? Can't you at least give us 20 minutes? I think Craig may be also concerned for his position, so he does what he's told. I mean, he does work for the mayor, who changes department heads like most people change their underwear. That's true. He does. That is true. When you say yes to everything, it's easy. Absolutely. Absolutely. There were a couple of other things that I wanted to hit. We're going to wrap this up. We're not going to do a very long night tonight because the last several have been very long, and we're going to let you guys roll out pretty early. But I did want to cover one more other topic, I think, before we roll. And I want to get down here and let me find this here briefly. As far as what's going on with the vote in Delaware County, I'm still not sure. As far as I know, the Delaware County Clerk's Office has still not came out and certified the 2024 primary election. I don't think that they can do that until the let me see on the calendar, the state board of the state board's calendar. Let me see what they say is next here. Give me 1 second. Whoops. Damn it. Not having a thumb for a second really affects things. I never realized what a pain that would be. Okay, here we go. Here, we're into January. Okay. It looks like yeah, it won't be able to be certified now for okay, here we go. May 7th. Yeah. 14 days. So it will be certified at some point into that. So we'll have to see what goes on there. I'll know more about that after tomorrow rolls around. So follow up for that will be into next week. Also, we do have a lot of record requests out currently. We have record requests into the City of Muncie for all of this City of Muncie / Greenlight Resources / Dustin Clark fiasco. We have record request into the City of Muncie for the for the fire department. The City of Muncie had that committee meeting that they didn't live stream back a couple weeks ago. And I said that I was going to issue a records request for the audio clip of the clerk's audio file on her computer. I filed that request and I received the record. I received that on Friday afternoon. I have not had a chance to go through it yet. I will try to go through that this evening. And if there's anything on there that is worth a damn, we will play it tomorrow. If not, I'll give you a quick rundown on it tomorrow. Besides that, I've got some records from the county that I'm going to have to start being an ass about. So I'll keep you posted there. And I have some records from Madison County. So I'll keep you guys posted on that as well. That is going to do it for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, those are what I'm talking about from the county. The records, those are the oldest from the county that I have. Alva on the boys trip to Vegas. So I will be fighting them for that. I'll be fighting them for some of the stuff as it pertains to Red Elephant and a couple of other things. So I'll let you guys know, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to have to see what happens there. What's the current tally on the? That's the other thing, Joey. I have. Has the recount officially been requested? No, the recount has not been officially officially requested. Okay, Julie says the Star Press says May 16th for to certify the election. So, all right, let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it has to happen within the 14 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't understand how they would do that. That's only 7 days, but we'll have to see what goes on there. So I think that I don't know what I have not spoken to anybody. I've not heard from anybody. So I won't know anything until the week starts. I will tell you that the recount process is very quick. It's very, very quick. So it's not going to be much of a difference. So all right, folks, that's going to do it for us. If you have not hit the like button, please consider hitting the like button. That would be fantastic of you. It should be, oops, shit, I made us go away. Yeah, Kate figured it out. It should be there on the left-hand side. That should be wait a minute, you're looking at that? Yeah, that's your left-hand side. Okay, that's the left hand, so it's over here on your left hand. This is your right hand. The only difference is I'm pointing different than what you actually see. How very, very confused. It won't be quick if Rick is involved. That is true because Rick moves at a snail's pace and is, I don't know what's wrong with Rick. I've talked to a lot of people on a lot of sides, all of various different types of political beliefs and states of mind and frames of reference and all up and down. And the one thing that nearly everybody agrees on is at various times, Rick comes off as completely insane. And I just don't understand what he does. So I don't know. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. I thank you all for tuning in. Love your mothers. Love your family. Say a very special I love you to all of the people that you care for out there. You guys take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Have a great start to next week, and we will see you back here tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, God willing. You guys take care. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.